If you have to take out pretty big amount, sometimes bust circumference and waist circumference are very different, then you might consider making 2 darts instead of 1. Hi, I'm Jin. Welcome back to Pattern Studio 101. Today we're continuing with dress block making. This lesson is a continuation of the previous video, episode 251. In that video, I talked a lot about the concept of pattern blocks in general, and we drafted the base frame for the dress block. If you haven't watched that video yet, I highly recommend watching the video. It will give you some important insight into what block patterns really are and how we should think about them. Now, let's quickly review. A dress block is basically the same as the bodice block, but instead of ending at the waist, it extends down to the hip level. The extra length gives us a better foundation when we start developing dress patterns. A block pattern is a very basic and fitted pattern with no design details. There are no style lines, no extra fullness, and no decorative element. The purpose of a block is simply to represent the shape of the body as accurately as possible. We learn block pattern making because it helps us understand the relationship between the pattern, fabric, and bodies. Once you understand that relationship, it becomes much easier to develop new designs and adjust patterns when fitting issues appear. For these lessons, these are the example measurements we are using to draft the dress block. And this is the base pattern frame we created in the previous video. We drafted the back neck and shoulder. Now to draw the armhole curve, we need a cross-back line as a guide. From the shoulder point, move in 1.5 centimeter and draw a vertical line to the underarm. So this is half of the cross-back. To draw the back armhole curve, find the midpoint of this line. Then you can draw the back armhole curve. We need to true the seams later when we complete the front and back pattern. But for now, the armhole curve past this midpoint. It doesn't have to be exact, but around there. Make this angle around 90 degrees and basically smooth and nice curve. Okay, let's go down to the waist. The measurement we are using is body measurement, and I didn't add any ease at the bust, right? If I'm making the skirt block or pants block, I can use this waist measurement, just body measurement without any ease. But since this is a dress block, I'm going to add a little bit of ease only at the waist. So the curves from the bust through the waist and hip is like a smooth and nice. So the body measurement is 76 centimeter at waist. I'm going to add just 2 centimeter, so 78 centimeter. But it will be pretty tight anyways. So calculate the difference. 90 centimeter minus 78 centimeter. We have to reduce 12 centimeter at the waist. Because this is a quarter body, 12 centimeter divided by 4, we are going to reduce 3 centimeter on the back pattern. Reduce 1 centimeter at the side seam, 1 centimeter at the center back, and we are going to create a dart 1 centimeter width. Find a midpoint at the waist. Draw a line to the underarm. 1 centimeter dart, so 0.5 centimeter on each side. And I'm going to go down 5 centimeter from the underarm. If the dart width is bigger, let's say like 2 centimeter, I can make it longer. But since this is pretty narrow, my dart can be like this. Take out 1 centimeter at the side seam and connect to the underarm point. We're going to true the side seam when you complete the side seam with the hip line. So for now, let's leave it like this, just a straight line. At the center back, same 1 centimeter. So we reduced 3 centimeter in total. For the center back curve, I drew the straight line about 4 centimeter. It's 3 to 5 centimeter, a little bit straight line, and connect to the underarm. Since this is only 1 centimeter, even if I drew just straight lines like this, and this also straight line, the corners not badly pointed. But depending on the measurement, if you need to take out more at the center back, you need to draw this corner and this corner with a smooth curve. When you take out certain amount at the waist, it doesn't have to be always evenly distributed. So in this example, because the amount is not that big, I take out 1 centimeter at the side seam, 1 centimeter at the dart, and 1 centimeter at the center back. But depending on your model's body shape, you might want to take out more at the center back and less at the side seam, or the other way around. If you have to take out pretty big amount, sometimes bust circumference and waist circumference are very different, then you might consider making 2 darts instead of 1. I teach these kinds of options and ideal proportions in more details in my online course, Mastering Pattern Blocks. If you are interested in joining, you can check it out on my website. Let's go down to the hip. We know this is the quarter of the bust circumference, which is smaller than the quarter of the hip circumference. So my example hip circumference is 92 centimeter. So divided by 4 is 23 centimeter. So find the point, the hip circumference divided by 4. So 0.5 centimeter for this example. I need to move out. Connect to the waist. To draw a curve, find a midpoint. An upper line will be like this curve, and the bottom line will be like this outer curve. For the dart, draw a center line. Again, find a midpoint. For the hip dart, normally the back dart is longer than the front dart because the belly shape and the hip shapes are different, right? From the waistline to the hip line, the dart length will be a little bit longer than the half. So from the midpoint, I went down 2 centimeter, and you can make a dart. Same, since this dart is pretty narrow, the small dart, the length can be a little bit shorter. But you have to think about the body shape. Look at your model's buttocks shape from the side. If it's a flat buttocks, you can make this dart longer. Otherwise, you're gonna see excess fabric around here. If the buttocks shape is pretty high, then you adjust the dart length a little bit shorter. But this is going to be happening in the fitting process. So for now, from the midpoint, 2 centimeter down. If you make 2 of the back dart, the one close to the center back will be shorter. So in this case, my dart ends around the midpoint line. Okay, go back to my pattern. So center back, find the midpoint, and connect to the midpoint. And again, find the midpoint. The upper curve shapes like this way, and the bottom curve is the other way. So there is no pointy shape at the waist and in the middle of the hip. If the difference between the waist and hip is big, so you need to add more at the hip, then you can extend the hip like this. You have extra at the center back and side seam. You can play around for the body measurement and shape. The back body is done. It's a little bit slow because I want to explain in more detail. We're going to make the front body in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, I would be so grateful if you liked, subscribed, and left a comment. Your love and support truly means so much to me. Have a beautiful week. See you next time. Do you know I make PDF written instructions for all my YouTube videos? Go to my website and become a member. Every Wednesday when I post a new video, I send PDF written instructions to your inbox. With time, you can build your own pattern making library. It's amazing. Head over to my website, patternstudio101.com. The link is below the video. Have a great week. See you next time.